Like all the night. How's everyone's day? So good. Good. We are gonna get started. Yay! Let's have some bucket fills. Bradley.
I didn't see.
Not too instant. That was good. Yeah. What?
Got this bad team here. Good thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, I answered their question like a week late. They were like on the deadline. They're like, Bradley, why aren't you answering us? We need some help.
Unfill half of that bucket, so Bradley.
Yeah.
Half of it out.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad we have such a good team.
I want to have a great team.
Good.
Shauna.
You for answering my panic text on Friday night at 9:30.
You're welcome. Sean and I did a little FaceTime Friday night. It was great.
Yeah, and Sean's not here, but Sean continued on helping me Saturday morning when we got into a bidding war.
Oh, good. Did you get the contract?
We did. Woo! Yeah. And then Chris just now this morning for helping me clear things up in command. Like Steph said, we have such an amazing team.
Oh, good.
Guys, remember that when another broker calls you. Yeah, because they're gonna show you and ask you, hey, I'm gonna give you a bit more money. But just to have, and I've been now, it's my second, third brokerage, it makes a big difference. Remember those 9:30, those calls, those help. Sometimes it's not just money, it's really like feeling part of a family, a team, or a Facebook group. Remember that.
And you guys are our family. Like, honestly, when we go to sleep at night, this is our family. So, even our kids been
Ron, there's a seat right up here in front for you.
That's good.
You know, like, example.
Gotta change.
If you don't want the back to full, then it's hard for brokers back there.
And Rusty, I have to do, it's been,
About to take phone calls.
Or you could just say I'm in a meeting for 1 hour. 45 minutes.
I have a bucket. Bill Dalton did conversation mastery for me on Thursday. Gone. Oh yeah. I wanted to have him back for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm a bucket. Allison and Bradley both helped me set up my calendar.
I was gonna say Rusty did that for me. It's been about a month ago, but I called her in a panic and I'm like, what the hell do I do? And she's like, okay, first calm down. Take a breath. So I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah. Hey, I love it. I want to fill just everybody that came to Ignite's bucket last night. And here's the fun thing about Ignite last night is we have agents who literally are just passed their test and aren't even yet licensed that are showing up to Ignite. And it was a really good class. Tony, did you think it turned out good? So I appreciate, Tony, your feedback and giving feedback and suggestions to the new agents. But I just want to remind you that Ignite, you don't have to attend the whole entire series if you don't want to. Jessica Oots is teaching tonight. So is it just Jessica teaching? And what are you teaching?
Connect with your market.
Connect with your market. So anyway, if there's things that you want to come to, it's every night, Monday through Friday from now till February 13th at 5 p.m. So show up to Ignite. It's going to be fun.
And
It's
again,
already
that's
fun.
not just for the new agents.
Yeah, it's
either.
not for new agents. If you're just feeling like you need a little kick in the butt or even just like to get back down into your foundations, it's a really good class to attend. Couple things happening in our market center, but before I go through these, I want to let you guys know you're going to see an email coming out this week. We're shifting some of the roles within the market center to support our growth for 2026. So compliance, as you guys know, Ken has been handling all the compliance. So earnest money requests, something's wrong with the file, Ken's the one that's reaching out to you. All compliance is going to go back to Sean. Sean Janke, raise your hand. Does anyone not know Sean in the back of the room, your principal broker?
Oh, I've never met him.
Your license is in fact dependent on his license and vice versa. So don't do anything to screw up our licensing. But also all compliance is going to be going back to Sean as Ken steps into a more growth focused role to help us with growth. So any compliance questions, earnest money cancellations, all the things go back to Sean.
I'm so excited.
Just because he just walked in the room, we missed bucket fills, but Gavin, I want to fill your bucket because you are the most engaged. I'm going to give you a little award. Like you're the most engaged Zoomer that we've had on Ignite in a long time. So I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate you staying engaged on Zoom. I know Zoom is it's a little easier to get distracted when you're on Zoom because all your little notifications are popping up and your dishes are staring you in the face and your dog's walking by and all the things. But Gavin was super engaged. So thank you, Gavin, for being an Ignite.
Guilty.
Yeah, it's way more fun in the room. So,
Can I just say thanks to everybody for letting me serve you in compliance and answer your questions and be of help. And I've enjoyed getting to know each of you better that way. And I'm looking forward to my new role and growth, which means we won't associate as much on a daily and weekly basis, but we'll look for ways to do that. So just thank you for allowing me to serve you.
Ken might be the first person that's ever said thank you about letting him help you with compliance. So thanks to Ken on that.
It's like for punishment.
He loves it. So today our tech bar is from 1:30 to 2:30. Tomorrow is our contracts and DocuSign workshop. Allison and broker Sean, what do you guys want to say about this class?
I think that you want to write a contract the way that contracts are coming across the market now. You want to be in the know of what's going on. We talk about that.
A lot of questions I get are answered in this contracts class, just fun fact. So a lot of the questions that I get kind of throughout the week, I'm sure Sean and Ken, same thing. A lot of questions we get throughout the week are actually questions that we go over in this contracts class. So
And then
you're never too smart to come to a contracts class.
Right. Well, yeah, because the market's always changing. The way we run contracts is always changing. The other thing is we teach you how to run it through command so that it's streamlined when you're making an offer.
Yes.
The paperwork is
Much easier. Thursday conversation frameworks with Allison is at 9:30. And you're just really focusing on communication, right?
So not as much scripting. We still have scripts that we can give you, but it's more just general communication, how to actually have real conversations with people.
Okay, and that is, as a reminder, that's open to anyone in the brokerage. That's not a coaching specific class. And then Friday we've been doing our Pathway to Production Mastermind call. Right now we're focused on the MREA. So if you wanted to get back into that, we're starting on session 4, I believe. So this week we'll be talking all about the organizational model of the MREA. So MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. We're going to be talking about all about the organizational model, who to hire, when your first hire should be, how to hire the right person. That's what we're going to be diving into on Friday. And then as a reminder, Ignite is Monday through Friday from 5 to 7:30 or 8, whenever we get that. And this is how you register for that. And also, if you just scan the Eventbrite code and scroll to the bottom, you'll see each one of the upcoming classes. So if you're like, I don't want to attend the whole series, but I do want to see what's coming up, you can scroll through and see what classes are coming up for Ignite. I was like, I see a few phones out, so I'll give it just a second. Got it? Thank you. Okay, perfect. Our quarterly market update is February 3rd. So this is going to be covering everything that happened in Q4 and just looking at 2025 as a whole. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about some of the predictions and things for 2026. Did I just say 2024? We're going to look at the whole 2025 as a year. Guys, this is how much I disliked 2025. I literally just cut it out of my brain. Like it doesn't even exist anymore.
So 2020 and 2025.
So God, we're going to talk about what the market looked like in 2025, how things shook out, how everything ended, and then just a couple of things upcoming for 2026. So this is February 3rd. This is always one of my favorite things about this market update compared to some of the other market updates is Marcus is going to give you real actual stories and scripts and conversations to go have with your clients. How many of you feel like this market has had some uncertainty and maybe like you've had some questions about what's actually happening, what in the world is actually going on? Yeah. So if you have those and you're in this as a professional every day, do you think that maybe, wild idea, your clients might also have some questions about the market, right? So come and learn about it. It is in fact your job to be the market expert. Yesterday in Ignite, that's one of the things we talked about is one of your number one things is becoming a market expert. So come to this, invite a friend if you'd like to, February 3rd, 11:30.
Is it only going to be in person, no Zoom on that?
It will be on Zoom as well, right?
Yep.
He didn't say no, but yeah, Zoom as well. Because you're gonna be out of town.
Oh, then it won't be on.
Are you going somewhere fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's taking all of us. don't
Fabian,
worry.
also because you will be spending time with your family and it's like God, family, then business, you could always watch this later. But if you want to zoom in from
I mean-
wherever you are, you do whatever you want to do. Okay, also Shoni, his first AI series of this year is happening Friday at 11 a.m. to 12:15. It is AI Mastery, how to win back 10 hours in 1 week. Could everybody use an extra 10 hours in their week? Yeah, right? How many of us are like, if instead of 24 hours, if I could just have 30 hours in a day, I would be so much better than I am right now. What if you could use AI to get back 10 hours? So this is coming up at 11 a.m. on Friday. Did you get that scanned?
I did,
It's not
thank
working.
you.
Okay.
It is working.
The cool thing
I'm-
with that is it's
So-
like, it lists all the series now. So if you sign up for this one, it will automatically fit in your calendar for the next week.
Yeah.
Very cool. Also, I just want to say one just quick thing that I know I talk a lot about. We're really fortunate to have someone like Shoni that is diving deep into this for us, like Shoni does, Marcus, Kimber, Bradley's working on a whole platform which by the way, I don't think very many people came to, but it's super cool where you're gonna be able to filter all of our events and everything else.
The Kelsey.
It's cool, right? And so I feel like sometimes we forget how fortunate we are. In the last several NAR conventions that I have been to, I have set in on several AI trainings from like a brokerage level train AI to like for your association. And I gotta tell you, like I was bored stiff because we're so far ahead of all of it. It was like, ask ChatGPT what the best way to protect your brokerage from cyber fraud is. That was like their big tip that was like, oh, everyone's like taking all these notes. And we're like literally using AI to like define our leadership style and to write a value proposition for us and to help organize our calendar and filter and all these different things. So if you are not leaning into this, I'm just telling you, the world no longer exists without AI. It's human connection with AI. So it's never going to take us out of our position. We're never going to go away as humans. At least, I hope so. But I have watched kind of a scary video, full disclosure, that AI did take over the world. And it really did freak me out a little bit. So this is why I'm really trying to keep the human element in it. But the world no longer exists without AI. And so if you're just like covering your eyes and you don't want to deal with it, you have to start to embrace it in some way, shape, or form, because it's going to be there. And I personally I actually am so excited for Rosie, my robot, to come and like live in my house and clean and cook. Like, I'm just so excited for her, for my little Jetsons dream to come true. For those of you that are about my age, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm just really excited for it. But I got to watch what I'm giving Rosie for information, because she may also take over my world one day. But anyway, so I'm really excited about her to come. This is not what that's about, but it is about embracing it. Family reunion, it is your last chance to register. Fun fact, I actually think family reunion might sell out for the first time in a very long time. The CEO Summit is already sold out. There are people all over Facebook like offering to pay double and triple. I'm honestly considering selling my CEO Summit ticket because I think I can make a really good money on it and I can just get the highlights later. But CEO Summit is sold out. Like, you cannot get tickets anymore. On the growth call, they're trying to talk about moving into a bigger room, but the conference center is like, no, anyway, so that's sold out. I think there's already about 10,000 registrants. The conference center has an absolute max out at 15,000. So if you're interested, now is the chance to go. You can register through this link, or what you could do is hop into some official Facebook groups. Don't go to fake ones, go to official ones. And I've seen several people that are selling them at what the early bird price was, which was, I think, like $8.99 or something. So I've seen a lot of people selling them at that.
And the way that works too, you call Keller Williams and do the transfer together so that you don't get scammed.
Yeah, don't
Like-
just give somebody money. Just
Like
work through us so we can
Because
verify
I
their
sold a
real
family
person.
reunion ticket before and I just did it through the team leader office.
Yeah, just make sure you verify it with us that they're a real person on the other end. So last chance to go to Atlanta. Surprisingly, like I've seen hotel rooms have actually gone down, not up, if you're not staying in the brand new, like the host hotels right around it. And flights are still a little bit on the pricey side, but the rest of it's pretty affordable. Allison, what do you want to say about this?
Join us on Friday the 6th. We're gonna do a Galentine's event. It's pretty fun. It's a fundraiser for the Women's Council of Realtors.
And this is the state network.
The state network, yeah, we moved it to Salt Lake to hopefully get some more of our northern people there, but guys came last year too. It's a pretty fun girls' night out though. There's a lot of.
And it says it's pretty in pink. Are we supposed to wear pink? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I see.
So yeah,
But no,
if anybody
no
wants to go,
requirements, wear what you want.
Okay,
But I'm gonna dress up.
and I'll be there with my cute kids, so.
And your ticket includes appetizers and 2 drinks.
And then all the others are, an additional
Uh,
price.
the Botox is
Okay.
extra, the permanent jewelry is extra. The craft is not, I don't know.
Okay.
You know,
rate is
you think guys
extra.
know
Have
more,
fun.
but they make a lot of changes quickly.
Steph, do you want to come talk to us? about
I
this?
do. I'm so excited.
Okay, also, before we even talk about it, can we talk about the Super Bowl for a minute?
What is it?
No, yeah, exactly. Attitude, Fabian, that's my attitude this year too.
I know Bad Bunny is gonna be in. I may even watch it.
But these
Yeah.
It's been another stupid freaking Patriots Super Bowl. No.
Hey now.
Okay. My quarterback broke his ankle, okay? I don't really want to talk about this because this is gonna be the worst Super Bowl, but at least we're gonna have some fun games to play. So Stephanie, yay, and good food.
And good food. Okay, guys, I am super, super, super excited about this. I have been, Yeah.
Super Bowl.
yes. Hey, I've never really watched the Super Bowl, so let's just pretend I am a Super Bowl fan.
You've never watched the Super Bowl?
No, I watched we either watched a movie and then when the, like,
It's
when
the best day to go.
halftime
Nobody
comes
said
on, then we watched the halftime game.
Is there anybody else that can sell this a little bit better?
Called participate.
Our character, guys, this is gonna be a love game, okay? So we're gonna bag like the whole thought of anything, but it's gonna be a love game. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna play the Super Bowl squares, right? And we're gonna do it, so each square is $10. You can buy as many as you want, so buy lots, okay? And then whoever at the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the end of the game, we're gonna do $100 for whoever has their name on that square, right? So that's gonna be cool.
The
But the
final
other
score
thing-
gets 2.
Yeah, the final score gets 200. But the biggest thing is half of what we are donating goes straight to KW Cares. KW Cares is awesome. It helps our families here in need that needs it. We've been able to help so many families just to do that. The other thing is this year I want to take KW Cares from like this little box and I want to make it huge. So in order for me to do that, I need you to help me. Yeah. So I'm going to send this around first. You guys can
Does
send.
everybody know how?
Does everybody know how Super Bowl squares work?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Let's Fabian does it. Okay, so basically, what's gonna happen, so you see this, you're gonna write your name on random squares, and you notice there's no numbers across the top yet. So once we have this filled out, then we're gonna do numbers that we'll pull out of a hat. There'll be random numbers across the top and down this side. If I have a square right here and the winning score is 21 to 10, and this is a 1 and this is a 0, then I'm the winner. Yep, for the team. So like Seattle's at 21 and the Patriots are at 10, and this is my square. Then if that's the end of Q1, I win $100. Let's say they don't score all through Q2, because that's a possibility with these two teams. Sorry, I love you, but I can't say anything nice. Then I would win again. Woohoo, $200. And then let's say it changes and this square over here wins it, then they win $100. And then the end of the game, maybe this square gets it, they win $200. So if they didn't change the score from Q1 to Q4, then the same person could win the whole time. But I am in so many of these Square games right now, and some of the ones I'm in, like, I think $10 is a steal because I'm in a couple that are $100 a square. Obviously, it's a large payout, and I like to gamble, and I'm just gonna be gambling a lot during this game because I don't care about the outcome of the game. I just care about winning money. So anyway,
I'm gonna put half of it to KW.
and half of it goes to KW
So,
Cares.
So a
Guys,
couple ways to sign up.
I'm
So for
gonna-
you guys that are in person, you can write your name down and I will put them down. But this is also a digital board. So that sign up right there is just a Google form for how many squares you want and your information. And then it also has Steph's Venmo, which is the way we're gonna collect all of it if we can. So if you fill that out, then I can send it to you digitally. You can fill it out this way and we'll still send it over that way.
And I'm gonna send this around right now. Vendors can do this too. So let's get this out. I wanna sell every one of these squares so then we can A, get more money and B, get more money.
I want
So
to sell so many squares that we have to do a second floor. That's my,
I think that's great.
Love it.
so my personal goal is.
Michael, go ahead and put your name on there.
Christie,
One name per square, right?
only one name per square, but
One
you
name
can do
per
as many
square.
squares as you want.
But each square will be $10.
Yeah, only one name per square. So once you have once the square's taken, nobody else gets that one.
Yep.
That's yours.
When
Now
is
stop for a minute.
The game is not this Sunday, but the next Sunday.
The 9.
Yes. You'll also still be in Uruguay,
Yes.
but we'll just tell you. if you
Doesn't
want.
matter, yeah.
We'll keep track.
You don't have to be present to win on this one.
All right.
Thanks to Steph for thinking of a fun idea. We're gonna just start coming up with more and more fun ideas of ways to raise money for KW Cares in a way that's just fun and meaningful. If you guys remember, we went during our Christmas party this year, we played bingo, which was super fun. We raised like $1,000 that day. So, right, Chris? Okay, so I was like, did I make that up? So anyway, we're just gonna keep doing that, and it's a fun way to give back, and we get to play along a little bit as we go. Okay, wants and needs. I have Shauna gets to go very first because she wrote her name up here.
I have a townhouse in Roy going live on Thursday, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet-ish. 3 bedrooms right now. There is a 4th bedroom on the ground level that currently is just storage, but it could easily be converted back to a bedroom, home office, community. Super convenient to 15 and 84 Riverdale. I mean, it's just right there at that intersection. 310 is what we're asking, and she's a very motivated seller.
Shauna.
It does. It has a fenced backyard too.
Oh, cute. Shauna, I think you're trying to have your best year yet. Is that what we're doing? Okay, good. Let's do it. All the little things you got, you're great. Like, this is gonna be your best year in real estate. I can feel it. Okay, good. I love it. Who else has listings that they want to talk about coming up? Already listed? What are we
Okay,
doing?
I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom manufactured house in Sandy. It's on the market now. And going for 140. Lot rent is $990.
Oh, not
It's
mine.
had lots of updates.
And you said it's in Sandy?
Sandy is.
Awesome. Who else? New listings. Where are my new markers? They were all up here last night.
I need a rambler, if anybody has one coming up.
Okay.
I need,
Hold on one second.
Oh, you're good.
Gavin, sorry, I didn't see. You got a shout out. I didn't see your hand back there. Sorry.
So I got a 5-bed, 3-bath in one closet. They just read the 4th. Just under 2,800 square feet. We're asking for 93.
JT?
I have a great home in Hooper. It's like right on the, I don't know, the Roy border, it's right off 5600. 4367 west, 5300 south. It's 3,200 and some square feet, 5 beds, 2.5 baths. That might even be, I have to go double check the basement. So it might even be, might be 3.5 baths.
Okay.
I think it is. I think it is. I haven't been in the basement. Pictures are being taken today. I'm gonna see who wants to do an open house. I gave them their price. I told them. I gave them a range and I said, here's what I suggest to list at. they dropped it 30K below that because they wanted August.
Ooh, nice.
Right.
So it's it's got a 3-car garage, but they built a RV or a side-by-side version of a garage off the back, so it's really a 4-car.
What's the lot size?
I think it's 0.27. Yeah, and there's no front yard neighbor. The neighbor across the street is all horse filled. So it's got rear neighbors and side neighbors, but no, it's not in the front.
What price was that at?
It's gonna be $657. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have one of my tenants wants to move and asked if I'd let him out early. I told him only if I could find a new tenant. Because he hates to move and rent this time of year.
Everyone?
It's a 2-bed, 1-bath in South Ogden. Right now, I believe they're paying $600 or $1,700. Something like that. It's got a carport, stuff like that. And then, my son, for his fundraiser for school, is doing the cookie fundraiser. So if anyone's interested in getting those little cookie things.
Love it. Did we get a wants and need online, Bradley? Is that the chat box that jumped in?
Great question.
Or saw chat box? Steph, what are you looking for?
So I'm looking in
This is you need a back, you have something. you need
Fire,
to
yeah. So I'm looking either in Clearfield, Layton, Kaysville, Group Heights, South Weaver. So it's that area. No, it can only be like 5 minutes from this one location. From-
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Clearfield,
Anyway.
Layton, Kaysville, South Weaver, and Fruit Heights, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then I need to see
Drive
around
fast.
with
Through high
at
speed.
least 5 bedrooms and a 2-car garage. And if they would really love a double sink in the back. That's like
Doable. What is the price?
Price range, they could go 600. If it has an ADU, they could go higher. So there you go. That's my unicorn right now.
Love it. Online, we have wants and needs. I'm guessing that's why we're turning up the volume. Fabian, do you have something while we're waiting?
Yes. I have a tiny house in Brigham City coming up. No, not even close. 4-bed, yes, tiny house, right. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It has a newer roof, and that's the only thing good I can say about. It could be, it will definitely be a flip. It's gonna be around 250. So, perfect, yeah. So that, and it's all in one level. The cats are excluded. It's about 1,400. Yeah. It's about 1,400. Yeah, I know they taste like chicken, but yeah, he's gonna keep them, so. There you go. This is one of those situations. So, yeah, it's gonna be around 250 to 75. I'm working with a company on that, but, and it's, you know, anything lower than that, it'll probably be a short sell, and we wanna avoid that.
Okay,
Let's go.
okay, love it. Who else? Was there something online or no?
Let's say no, it's not the same.
Okay, anybody else?
I have a buyer who needs a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, it has to be somewhere in Davis County, anywhere from Hayesville to.
Do you say Marius?
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, I can't, they're actually moving from Layton to get closer to the U. Okay, so they, so
Maybe
maybe
North
it'll be
Ogden.
like, or Kaysville, Fruit Heights, Centerville.
Kaysville North.
Possibly North, they don't.
Okay. And what's their budget?
700.
Anybody else?
Christy, Ashley and I have several years looking from basically Box Elder to Utah County. So if you have any listings in that area, we would just love to work with our office.
I have a
We have like so many different ranges of price points, all the things, like literally from
covering Fox Solar in Utah County right now, and, so just, if you have a listing coming up, reach out to us, and we'll be sure it's a fit. I would love to do something in office if we can.
Love it.
Oh.
Okay. All buyers, Fox Elder to you, County.
Pretty much, I mean, just reach out.
Love it. Brad.
Katie Hartshorn's got a 2,000 square foot home in East Layton's. 4-bed, 3 baths. It's at $499.
East Layton, 4-bedroom, 3 baths, sorry.
Yep,
$499.
correct.
Katie, is this the one you told me is so cute?
It's so cute. Yeah, it's
Oh my
really
God, I
cute.
think it's gonna be so cute.
I have one that's, I just dropped the price.
Okay, let's hear it.
So it's, a split tree in Roy. It's really cute. They've got to go, so it's listed at $455 now. And it has 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 2-car garage. All appliances, including washing machine and dryer, stay, and it's got a pool, it's got a fireplace, it's got chicken coop, it's got yeah, it's got all the things. A greenhouse, a shed.
A lot.
The lot is 0.240.
No, it's not.
But
The
it's-
chickens and a pool is
Yeah.
pretty strong.
The chickens are little, the little chickens,
Well,
little
it's
chickens.
20 chickens. But I don't know how we're gonna stay, but they've got a lot. But anyway,
They look
they
like
were
pigeons.
got a brand new deck on the back, and it looks, the sunsets are amazing. So please bring a buyer. Hey guys, love it.
I have a buyer that is just starting, but they'll move faster if they found the exact right thing. So I'm just gonna tell you their biggest thing. They really do love a 1-level home. They will do a basement if they need to, but they really love a 1-bedroom. They just need one level with 3 to 4 bedrooms, but natural light is a really, really big deal. Like they must have natural light. So if you're listing a home that has like skylights or like the whole back of the house windows or something like that, keep me in mind. They want to stay under 500. They're really open on area. They want to stay in Weber County, but they're open like Roy, South Ogden, wherever. And then also they really would love either like, again, the natural light thing. So if you have anything coming up with like a sunroof that's enclosed, that would be really ideal. Or if you have something that has a shop or a detached garage that one of them does like stained glass work. And so they want some place for a workshop.
Nice.
So that's just to paint the picture. If you have something coming up, again, like tell me before you list it, and I would love to bring some amazing qualified buyers. They've already sold their house, they're ready to go whenever the right thing comes up. Make sense? Okay, anything else? All right, moving along. Oh, it's our rewards time. I got it. That was next. The West Cat.
So Leslie, it's your birthday.
Birthday. Be better. Congratulations.
But not better than his chili.
Amen.
All right, our first closing, Melanie Juarez is her first. Nice job. That was a perseverance effort. She never gave up on that one. Top individual closed units, Marcia and Mikkel. Nice job. Cal, top closed units, you run town half the dang month. Nice job. That's the way you do it, right?
The beauty of our business, right?
Top teams listings taken was the Burdeners. Congratulations. Great job. Top teams closed units, Larson Realty Group, the Burdeners, and Connection Home. She had your own give it to her back in. Top groups closed units with Sun and Snow Homes. Congratulations and bye-bye. Ladies.
Lindsay's now on our team.
Yeah. $1 million months, Marcia, Believe, Mikkel, Larson Realty Group, the Burdeners, Connection Homes, Skyline, and Sun and Home Snow, or Sun and Snow Homes, all had $1 million a month. There's yours.
Let me help you.
Go ahead. Thank you. Go. And who says that December doesn't have closings, right? But we push those better. Hey, awesome. Congratulations for December production award winners. How are we gonna make our calls when we make them, guys?
We're not, until we check.
We check, and then we're gonna make all the calls. Friendly and compliant. Great job. Okay. As you guys know, we've been going through the 6 personal perspectives. Today is our last day of those, and we have Bitsy and Stephanie who are going to be sharing the last 2. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, you guys. This is my first time ever teaching team meetings, so thanks for your patience in advance. I actually know how this thing works, so we'll figure it out.
You can do it.
Okay, we have faith. Okay, so today, like Rusty said, we're wrapping up our training on the 6 personal perspectives with an unstoppable mindset. So before we jump in, we're going to recap a little bit of what we've gone over so far. So in the last couple of meetings. So the 6 personal perspectives are foundational to Keller Williams. So they're a part of our basic vocabulary and philosophy of leadership and achievement. And these perspectives came into existence when Gary Keller asked the question, what is it that differentiates those who achieve at the highest level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? So after thoroughly researching this question, Gary discovered that all high achievers have 3 basic attributes in common. And those are mindset, attitudes, and approach to life. So mindset is key. Gary has said, when you interview the very, very top people and ask them what their biggest challenge is, they're always going to say mindset. Keeping it strong, focused, and positive amid the many challenges they encounter every day on their way to the top. So,
man, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, it truly is. And it's also like, it's easy to say and much harder to do, right? So as we get into the next part here, what are the 6 personal perspectives? So number 1, commit to self-mastery. Success starts with mastering your craft and developing the skills, habits, and mindset needed to excel in real estate. So this perspective pushes you to take full ownership of your growth and performance rather than leaving the results to chance. Step 2, commit to the 80-20 principle. Focus your time and energy on the activities that produce the greatest results. So the vital few tasks that drive the majority of your success. So by prioritizing these high impact actions, you avoid busy work and accelerate your progress towards your goals. And this talks a little bit about big rocks, and I know we already went into this, but I love the analogy of thinking about like your big rocks as a jar, right? So if you have a jar and then you have pebbles and big rocks as all of your tasks, if you fill up that jar with the pebbles first, you have no room for your big rocks. So there's no way to fit it all in that same jar. But if you start with your big rocks for the day, get those done, and then fill in with the pebbles, they'll just fill in the space in between. So thinking about like what's the most important for that day, I think helps a ton. Step 3 was move from E to P. So going from entrepreneurial to purposeful means shifting from doing what comes naturally to following proven models and systems that innovate your business. This shift helps break through ceilings of achievement and build sustainable growth rather than just reactive effort. Step 4, make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan. Adopt a mindset of continuous education and improvement. Be willing to learn, apply feedback, and evolve your strategies. Learning becomes the foundation of your actions so that your growth keeps pace with your goals. And I know we went over a ton of that with books and resources with Ken last week too. So, and then today we're going to go through these 2. So removing your limiting beliefs. So letting go of thoughts and assumptions that hold you back from pursuing bigger possibilities and greater success. By embracing unlimited thinking, you expand your confidence and resilience in the face of challenges. And lastly, be accountable. Hold yourself responsible for your results, actions, and outcomes rather than blaming external circumstances or others. Accountability builds trust, consistency, and momentum as you execute your business plan with discipline. So, and I know you guys are probably, but maybe not everybody, but has everybody heard these? Are you familiar with them? I know they are super big, so you guys have been through these probably a million times. They're brand new to me this year, right? So I just started with you guys. So I have loved kind of diving into this training. I think it's great. Russ, I'm gonna put you on the spot, so I would love to know what your favorite of these are and why.
Gosh, they're all really important for all different reasons, right? Because they all really kind of play together.
Mhm.
But I think for me, probably the limiting beliefs is the one that I just see in action most often, right? Because even in my own mind, or as I'm talking to other agents, and I talked about this a little bit last night in Ignite, that we win or lose, like in what's going on from here to here, like between our ears, much sooner than we ever do in our actions, right? Because the limiting beliefs can just hold you back so much. And I've seen people that have been able to really change their mindset and just flip their limiting beliefs kind of on their head and unlimit the beliefs. And it makes them unstoppable, right? But it all kind of comes down to that. Like, we limit ourselves so much just in what we're thinking. We tell ourselves a story of we can do it, or we can't do it, or, you know, we've never done that before, so it's going to be really hard. Like, I think we tell ourselves a story in our heads long before the reality of what's actually happening. But the limiting beliefs really move the direction of which we take action, right? Like, it's hard to commit to an 80-20 if your limiting beliefs are telling you you can't make phone calls and nobody wants to talk to you. And that's a limiting belief that is common in our industry, right? Like, and if you unlimit that belief to, like, you have the exact message that somebody needs to hear today, and you use that to make your calls and to give the courage, it's gonna allow you to commit more to that 80-20. So to me, that's probably my favorite. I think they're all important for different reasons, but that one's the one. All of them are really critical, but I think if you can't get past your limiting beliefs, it's really hard to lean into any of the other principles, in my opinion.
Agreed. And we all have them, right?
Right.
Like, even the most confident person has those limiting beliefs. We'll talk about that in a little more depth here in a minute. But yeah. Anybody else want to share their favorite? Come on, guys.
I'm gonna say I bounce back and forth. Well, it depends on the week and the routine and how my flow is going, if that makes any sense. Sometimes it gets disrupted with, an example would be holidays, right? They hijack your routine. And when I'm in my routine, the very bottom one, step 6, I own it. Like, I can just crush it. But there's times I bounce through step 2 and step 3 where I gotta focus on the little things, my big rock. And then once I get that done, I feel like I'm breaking through. And it's like, I always like hover between those two most often.
Awesome. Okay, so for those who weren't able to make the other classes, or just as a refresher, honestly, so I want you to imagine for the rest of this class that you could see into the future and come back and live differently. So how would you change? What would you do that you're waiting to get done because you think you'll be here forever? Yeah. So I think, like, what would we do differently, right? So if you guys will just, like, kind of think about that, write it down. Think back, just keep it in your brain, I guess. And then what three things would you like to accomplish in your life that you have not achieved yet? So think about what you'd like to be, do, or achieve. So 3 goals. Oh, sorry.
Does anybody else need a paper?
I should have grabbed some. Thanks, Russ. I'll let you guys kind of think about that. I know she's grabbing paper. Does anybody want to share anything that they want to accomplish, or what they would do differently?
I think I would have loved to be a realtor sooner instead of the hotel management. But I also, if I like to study, I think I would have loved to be a lawyer.
Okay.
I can see you as a lawyer. That's awesome. Anybody else? Huh?
I'm a lawyer.
Defending, not divorce because I think it's dirty, but, you know, defending people's rights and beliefs.
So she likes doing.
Yeah, she loves it. Awesome. Okay, so now it's time to kind of do a reality check, right? So high achievers all have a reality mindset. That is, the first thing they do is recognize where they are and proactively take action based on that reality. So without this reality check, you're under the delusion that you can get under the delusion that you're farther along than you actually are in your goal. So with the sound reality check, you can calibrate the tools and resources you need to achieve the goal. So now after you have your goals in mind, ask yourself these questions. What is your goal? How are you doing with that goal? How does that make you feel? And what will your future look like if you do not achieve that? And I know like these can be really personal, but if anybody wants to share, I would love to hear some of them. But if not, that's okay too.
Can I just share that last question of like, what will your future look like if you don't achieve your goals? This is an interesting one that I've seen in more and more stuff, but last night in Ignite again, man, that was the instructor was on fire last night.
Whoa,
she was so good. But we actually talked about writing in bold, you write a letter to yourself a year from now if you've achieved your goals. And it's all positive and you're talking about all the things you did for the year and how it felt and all those things. And it's like this really feel good day, right? And so that's typically kind of where these kind of questions go. And I got a new coach this last year, and like my homework before I even started coaching was that I like sent her GPS and my goals. And then it was that I had to write a letter to myself of what it looked like if I did not hit my goals. So 12 months from now, she and I are sitting down reviewing my GPS and what those goals were. And it was like, if you want a real punch to the stomach, actually really think of this side of it. Cause I think, and that's, I know, like maybe it feels better to write the warm, fuzzy future is amazing and everything's great. Yeah. And that's important too, right? That's important to believe that. But on the other side of that is, it was really like eye-opening to think about all the different, like it was like a domino effect, but the bad direction, right? It was like the domino effect of like, okay, well, if that doesn't happen, then this doesn't happen. And that affects this person. And then that affects that person. And then that affects this person's family. And it affects this and it affects that. Yeah. And it just is really, it's pretty, it was actually empowering to do that and to think like, that's a lot of, it can feel like a lot of pressure, but it's also like, it made me really realize like how many different lives we impact. Like Mikhail's not just impacting himself and his business. He's impacting his buyers and sellers and how he helps them. And that helps their families and their families and their families. And he's affecting his children's future and their future. And the other, it's like, it just goes on when you think about like, if you think about it in that way of like, by you not living up to your ability and like really living up to the things that you can do and living the best version of yourself, what future generations does that affect? And I know that sounds like heavy, but it really was kind of eye-opening to think of it in a different way, because it's easy to go to the sunshine and rainbows.
Go to like, it's going to be great when I actually do accomplish this, instead of what it would look like if I don't.
Almost like it's selfish and you didn't.
I mean, it really did feel like it's very much makes you feel like, man, if you don't do this, like all these, like including, like you're letting yourself down, but it's not just you you're letting down, it's other people.
Chrissy. Yeah, I just gonna add on to that is, you know, the whole, so easy that if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. And when I first came back into this industry in 2018, I literally on my calendar, I had my daily activities reflected top producing realtor. And that was on my calendar every day. It popped up at 7 a.m. every morning. You know, my activities reflected top producing realtor. So it reminded me like what I was doing, why I was doing this. And now I have a different reminder that pops up. But if you can go deeper to that, it's like, what's your goal? Even putting a reminder on your calendar, like by this day, I want to hit this goal. Well, then like, what's your reminder every day to do it? To hold your calendar, remind you that like our team last year, we have an intentional focus time that we have on our calendar. And we blocked out, like we were very intentional with what we did at that time of the day, every day. And I know that's what drove us to doing the most transactions we have in the history of my business so far. So it was that reminder every day, like this is our intentional focus, like this, we're being intentional for this hour every day.
Yeah. Those little things make a difference. Huge difference. Okay, thanks you guys. And then, so remember, nothing changes unless you do, right? So as we think about what we want to do differently, we have to change to get there. Awesome. Okay, any other comments or anything before we move kind of along? So today we're going to talk about removing your limiting beliefs. And so like Rusty said, this was her favorite. I think it is mine too, as I've dove in, just because I think it's so important and we all have them. So you will need to clear your mind of limiting beliefs before you can successfully develop at a higher level. I also think another great question to like ask too is, what beliefs do I have that are not mine? So some of our beliefs start in childhood. They are our friends, our family, the people closest to us. Are they really what we believe, or is it what we grew up believing, right? And are those easier to change because they're not ours, right? So can we actually change those? And then, so here we go to this. So high achievers remove beliefs from their thinking that hold them back. So as we're sitting here today, are any of these thoughts in your head? I don't have enough time for training. I can't be successful in this market. I can't devote time each day to lead generation. I have no time in my week. And I think those are normal things that we all think, especially at different times, right? But is there a way that we can direct those thoughts into more positive ones, into unlimiting beliefs? So instead of I don't have enough time for training, if I put the time in for training now, what benefits will I reap long term, right? I can't be successful in this market. A shifted market is the best opportunity to be successful. I can't devote time each day to lead generation. I can't afford to miss lead generation. That is the future of my business, right? So as it's video prep. We'll play a little video here from one of our divisional leaders, Amber. If it will play.
Hit the sounds button.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Good.
Anyone shopping?
Mhm.
You didn't turn.
Yeah, let's not.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Removing your limiting. Hi, I'm Kimber Mankey, and I've been with Coloring since 2007. And I'm excited to talk to you guys today about our 6 personal perspectives, specifically removing your limiting beliefs. Now, what are limiting beliefs? These are our thoughts that can often hold us back from being able to achieve unlimited success. So what we want to talk about is how you can remove your limiting beliefs and unlock unlimited potential. When I first started in the business, I just finished my first year in real estate, and we set a wild goal to close 100 transactions. Nobody in our local market in DC was closing 100 transactions at the time. And so immediately after we said it, I felt sick. I was like, there's no way we're going to actually be able to achieve this goal. And I realized I needed to look outside of my local market to find others that had already achieved 100+ transactions. And in our Keller Williams family, I was able to identify several top agents from around the country who were very willing to talk to me about what they had done to achieve success in their real estate business, especially so early on in the start of their careers. We went on to really focus on what the activities were that were going to help us reach the goal. This was a humongous shift in our thinking. And so ultimately, we went small to go big. We really said, what are the key contacts, conversations that we need to have with the team on a regular basis to achieve that goal? And when we looked up, by October of that year, we exceeded our goal by being able to have focused folks around us that helped hold us accountable, and who were able to really get focused on those key numbers, which were not the lagging indicators, but our leading indicators. Now, the reality of limiting beliefs is it's not just a one-time thing. So if you fast forward a few years and I stepped into the regional director role for the Maryland, DC region, I saw those limiting beliefs creep right back up. I had taken a very untraditional path as being a mega agent into regional and then national leadership. And so there were lots of limiting beliefs that I didn't have enough of the experience coming in that hadn't followed that traditional path into leadership in our organization. And so I did the exact same thing. I went and started to talk to different people that had held the role, had been in the role, had succeeded in the role, and really looked to understand what they had done to really allow that success to take place. And that piece of being able to identify someone that could walk you through and really transform the idea that this limiting belief was actually something that was inside of me that was holding you back from being able to recognize and realize my full potential. So I'm going to encourage you today to first to identify a moment when you realize that it might be a belief that you have, that maybe one that you've had your whole life that's holding you back from doing the production that you want to do, from stepping into the leadership role that you want to do. And the second thing I'm going to encourage you to do is look for someone in your world, maybe not in your world today, that has actually achieved that they've done this thing, they've been in the role, they've closed the units that you're interested in doing. And pick up the phone and have a conversation. Get on a plane, meet them, have a conversation. And then look not just about what they did, but really understanding a couple of really specific steps that they took to achieve that goal that you can implement back into your practice. Because we know when you unlimit your beliefs, you unlimit your potential.
Thank you. What I loved that you said in there is that, like, even though you can get over some of your limiting beliefs, like, they a lot of times will creep back in, right? In different circumstances. It's not a one time, I got through this and now it's gone forever, right? So as we think about how we remove our limiting beliefs, so I'm gonna tell you an example of one that I had. So for those of you who don't know, I worked at Target for 20 years before I came over here. So I was a team leader there. I became an executive. I became a store director. So I kind of moved all around in there. For most of my career, I was a team leader before I promoted, right? And so, so what happened there is I had always wanted to do HR. I wanted to do the executive position, but I just wasn't quite sure, honestly. Like, I always doubted myself. I didn't know if I could do it. So my boss told me one day that we had an opening in a different store for the position I wanted, right? And I just hemmed and hawed about it and I couldn't decide. And I was like, I don't know. So I came in one morning and I checked my email and I had an interview on my email for that week with my boss's boss. And I went into my boss's office, my eyes as big as saucers. And I was like, what is this? And she said, you want to do it. You should just do it. I will leave you here forever. Like, you can stay here forever. You don't have to. Like, we can take this interview off your schedule. You can do this job and you're already doing this job, basically. So take the opportunity to go do it. And I just needed, I think, that little push to get me there, which I did. I took the job. I loved it. It was funny. I had a visit from my regional HR not very long after I got into the store. And he said, so what's the biggest difference? Like, how can we help people that are transitioning from like team leader up to this level? And like, I literally, and it wasn't even just being confident or cocky or anything. I was like, I mean, it's kind of the same. And my HR just laughed and goes, yeah, we've been trying to get her here for a while. She's been doing this job for a long time, just not getting paid for it, right? So I think, and that goes to, so that's a big, powerful limiting belief to me, is that imposter syndrome, right? So imposter syndrome, internalized, false. Although, like, everybody, all the success markers were there, right? Like, I should have known I was already successful. I could do that job in my sleep. So why did I have such a, like, I don't know if I can do it, right? And how do we get over it? And like I said, it creeps back in. Anytime you're doing something new, I think that stuff can come right back. So I want you to think of a time in your life when you had a limiting belief that you needed to remove. And how'd you do it? And what successes came your way once you were able to remove that belief? And would anybody like to share?
Tell you mine. Yeah, when I first got into real estate, I did phenomenal. Like, I had 3 deals really fast right off the get-go. And then I was making phone calls. I had no care in the world. My background was feature films for families, where I would ask for their credit card number and I would get 100 referrals from each person. And I did it at least once or twice a day. I had no fear. So I get into the business. And my team leader told me after I'd already got like 3 or 4 listings, she sat me down and said, Steph, you don't do the listings. You only do the buyers. And so for at least 2 or 3 years, I had to like think, wait a second, I can do the listings because I am good with both. And so it was just something that it was just the way she structured her team. It had nothing to do with me. So yeah,
So true.
so you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope you all at least thought of one in your mind, like that you've had. So just any of those beliefs, just imagine throwing it away. Just crumple it up, throw it away, right? We all struggle with them and we all have to continually work to remove them. So this next little part, I'm gonna give you guys a little worksheet, if you don't mind. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So this worksheet that I want you to take a few minutes to fill out. So what's the limiting belief that you have right now, right this minute? How can you challenge that belief? Is it the backstory? Where did it come from? Right? Like thinking with me with that job. Why did I think I couldn't do it when I was already basically doing the same job? Right?
Did you get?
Yeah, they're right here.
Not this way?
So challenge that belief. Is it the factor story? Where did it come from? And then take a second to rewrite that belief. So rewrite it into something that supports growth and action. You don't need more confidence. You need more evidence and new evidence. You're all like putting down the easy stuff. So anybody want to share? And I know these can be very personal, so no pressure. Anybody would like to share those. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear how you rewrite it or what your action is to do that. But if not, that's okay. Just keep that and like keep going through what that looks like. Yeah. Okay. Any ahas or anything anybody wants to pipe in with limiting beliefs before we finish up? I know we've all heard this before, but.
I just think it's a good reminder. I love that you don't need more confidence, you need new evidence.
Yeah.
Because again, I think we sometimes get in our, well, not sometimes, I think we are the biggest obstacle most of the time. Like we get in our own way, tell ourselves we can't do. I actually, like you see this a lot, honestly, with people adjusting to like new technology or AI in their business.
Yeah.
Like I can't learn this. I've already done it this way. So I think that's just, it's a powerful reminder that you're never exempt from the limiting beliefs. They'll always be there. You just have to find, you get better at, they don't go away.
Yes.
You get better at handling.
Yeah. you get better. So even my story, right? I had to have somebody tell me before, but now I kind of know that, right? I know that about myself. So how do I talk myself out of those sometimes? And then I'm just gonna end with this. I'm not interested in your limiting beliefs. I'm interested in what makes you limitless. The only thing that we limit is ourselves, right? So, thanks guys. Thank you.
You're natural.
Oh, yeah.
You did it really.
Thank you. I'll hand it on over to Steph.
Yay. Okay, sorry, I have to finish my belief. Okay. I'm really excited because I am totally going out of my comfort zone right here. And so let's see.
Are you good?
Maybe. Okay. So let's talk about the accountability approach. Everything in my life is a result of the choices of my actions, and I own my life. So your beliefs have to go through to what are you going to do about the belief to make it either positive or negative. So you get to drive the bus. And accountability is also a tool for continually changing the results of your life in the areas that matter most. So whatever your 20% is, where she said that you can put a glass jar and you can take the big things and put it in the jar first. And I've been working really hard this year on doing just that. And then filling the other stuff with your pebbles and then your sand and then your water. So if you think about it that way, you could totally put a lot in there. If you do it the opposite way, you can't. So are you going to be the driver of your school bus or are you going to be the passenger in the school bus? If you were the driver, you get to pick where you want to go. If you're a passenger, you could go anywhere you could, like you don't have that control. So this way, here we go. So on your victim mode or your accountability mode, are you ignorant? You don't seek the reality, you're in denial. That's not the way it is. It's not the way I see it. That's your perception fights the reality. We all know somebody that's a victim that just totally fights with it, that blames other people, that if everybody would just do their jobs, it's not my fault, it's yours. The market is to blame, the economy is to blame, interest rates went up. Why didn't you do something? Then your personal excuses. Nobody told me that. That's not my job. I did my part. I was never giving a chance. So you get that. And then waits and hopes. If it was meant to be, it'll happen. Let's just wait and see. We've done all that we could. Let's just wait and see. Oh, we did that. Time will tell. So let's jump over because I have a really hard time being in that mode. Let's go back over to our accountable mode. Seeks reality is awareness. What is the situation? The clarity, this is the way it is. I got it. I'll see what's going on and then own it, energy and focus. If it's to be, then it's up to me. What am I going to do about that? I've got to do something, and then this is my responsibility. Possibilities, what is your options? How can you get what you want? Where can I do this? And then get on with it. Action plan, let's get started. Time is up, let's go. Is this what I will do? I was never giving a chance. Okay, then let's just do it. Let's get on with it. So be accountable to it. the good thing about this, guys, is this is kind of not the best copy, but let's get a copy of it and I'll work on finding a better copy and get it over to you. But print it off, and if you can print it off and put it by your computer, you guys get the choice every single day, every single moment, every single second of every day to choose. Do you want to be on that victim train? Do you want to be just the student or the teacher in that bus, or would you want to be that bus driver? So think of the goals that you have picked out for this year, and just put down what is your goal, and then how are you going to drive that goal? Like, are you going to get up and be like, I got dishes to do, we're not going to get those done, I'm not going to do my goal? Or are you going to figure that out? So then your next step to figuring it out is doing the GPS, figuring out, okay, this is what we're going to do to get to take the bus to the, sorry. So this is what I'm going to do to take the bus to the school field trip. Okay, so I can't get to the field trip if I don't know where I'm going. I mean, you always could try and find street signs, but if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. So first off, let's get a GPS to figure out how we're going to get there. Then weekly, monthly, and yearly, we can use the 411. And the 411, that is productivitywarriors.com. And then you can pick out the 411. It will tell you your yearly goal. It'll tell you your monthly, like what to do for that. And then it'll tell you the weekly goal and then the daily goal. So whatever you do, you can't meet the elephant at one bite, but you can take and do little bites to get to that elephant teeth hole. So anyway, so if it's up to me, it's going to be. So you got to have the 411. I know Rusty talks a lot about this, and she does the 411, does the GPS, and then I know Christy has a really good one as well.
Friday we have an accountability group starting if you want to learn more about the 411 and how to use it for accountability.
Sweet, and that's at 10 o'clock?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, we'll figure that out and we'll come back to it. So when life happens, you get to pick the path that you want to take. 12:15 on Friday.
Right after the AI class.
Oh, perfect. And then we can watch the AI class here. Sure. Okay. So be here at 10 o'clock. We'll watch that.
Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, we
Perfect.
that. So sad.
Can I go with you? 11 o'clock. Okay, 11 o'clock is the AI. Okay. So if you can be here at 11, we'll watch that. Then we'll do the other one. So the other thing I like about this, they told a story about Gary Keller, and I didn't know this story, so this is kind of cool. So Gary Keller, he was married, he's in his 20s, and his wife comes up to him and says, "I don't love you, I've never loved you, I don't want to be married anymore." And so, that's hard to hit, right? So he's like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go to a therapist. So he gets to the therapist and he's like, all these thoughts, all of these, and he wasn't taking any example, like, okay, it's up to me. So the therapist asks him and says, so who asked who to get married? And he goes, oh, and this was his third or fourth one, and he goes, well, I asked her to marry me. And she goes, okay. So they sat on that for a minute. And all of a sudden, Gary Keller goes, oh, well, then it's my fault because I was the one that asked her to marry me. And so then he could have taken the next 40 years and been mad that she wasn't in love with him. She took that. And I didn't know that till I listened to this. So anyway, but that was how he took accountability and was able to move forward. So the other thing you can do is, think about, okay, I've closed 3 deals for today. or for this year so far, what am I going to do to close more deals and hit my goal of whatever it is by the end of the year. So think about what you're gonna do to be able to do that. And then think of the issues or the problems that you're struggling with right now. Anybody want to share the struggle that they have right now? No? Go ahead.
Well, I feel like I'm working on, hitting my goals for the new year. And I've got my business plan that I'm working to achieve. And sometimes it's just a lot. So it's hard. Like I'll be doing it for a while and I'm like, I just got so much follow-up to do, or I'm like, I haven't done my lead generation for the day. And sometimes it's hard to like keep the streak going versus taking a day off.
Yeah. So sometimes it's okay to take a minute to regroup and make it so you can get to the next chapter in your life. But think about, I always like the saying is it's okay to have a minute, but don't stay in that moment for too long. So
Sometimes you have to take a step back and work forward.
yes. And then anybody else have something that they're struggling with? And if you don't want to talk about it, let's go ahead and just write it. Go ahead.
I think for me, it's sometimes being accountable to myself, because if somebody else that asks me to, meet them somewhere or make an appointment, I won't miss it, it's on my calendar, but sometimes it's those keeping the commitments on my calendar to myself, which are the hardest ones. It's easy for me to just say, oh, I'll do that later, I'll reschedule it, but I don't always make that a priority as much as like another appointment on my calendar.
Right. I had that when the kids were at home a lot, that I have a paper calendar, everybody knows it. But my kids would take, if they wanted something or my time, they would put their name and the time on my calendar, but they wouldn't put it in pencil. They would put it in pen. And if you look at my calendar, it's all pencil. And they would put, and I'm like, hey, what's that? And they're like, I have an appointment. I was like, okay. So anyway, keep your appointments, because those are the ones that's going to help you grow. So, but it is hard to keep your appointments as well to yourself. So make sure that you, maybe you have to give yourself like, a reason. So, hey, it's okay if I'm going to take this amount of time, and if I can get that done, then I can do this. So, yeah. And then, sorry, just kind of looking over. Talked about that. I guess I could probably do that one. Okay, and then let's play that. Do you have?
Personal perspective is be accountable. Why is it so important to be accountable? Well, if your life is a journey, you get to choose whether you're going to be a passenger or the driver. You can choose to plan and work towards specific goals in different areas of your life, such as fitness or business. To me, accountability is accepting that my success, my life, and eventually my legacy will be defined by my choices and actions. Even though I was disciplined as a lifelong athlete before joining KW, I didn't have a system of accountability for business. In fact, when I joined KW, I was going to be an investor in markets. And the OP brought 75 agents. He was the largest independent broker. My wife and I, we bought 14 agents. And we rented an 8,000 square foot office. And as the weeks went on and we were waiting for New York to allow us to open, he came in one day and said, I've got cold. And he took his agents back to his broker. Well, we needed 40 agents to approve for the franchise. My wife and I made the decision to mortgage our house and buy it. And as I committed to coming to OP, I got on a plane or in a car every 30 days to get to training, the training that I would need to become successful. And I hired a MAPS coach. And my coach kept me laser focused on doing what I needed to do to grow the business. I learned how to build a DPS, how to create priorities and strategies that would lead to my goals. How to work with the 411 to focus my weekly activities on monthly milestones on the way to my annual goal. And as I was benchmarking against the top market centers, I learned that all the highest achievers need time to go to class consistently. They all use systems and models in their businesses, and they all have coaches. Agents and leaders. Being accountable to my business goals was one of the best things I've ever done. By the end of the year, we were one of the top launching markets. Now when setting goals, my team always uses the GPS. Everyone has a MAPS coach, and everyone uses a 411 to align their weekly activities with our annual goals. This system of accountability keeps us on the path to our goals so that we succeed together. Through this experience and many more through the years, I've learned that if it's to be, it's up to me. Being accountable is a choice. Some people choose to not be accountable because they're afraid of success. They're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of feeling uncomfortable, or they fear failures. Failure is essential to success. Accountability narrows our path so that we fail our way to success more quickly. Think of a goal that's really important to you, one that would change your life. What's one thing that you could do to increase your accountability to achieve that goal? Work with a 411. Talk to your team leader about your business goals. Hire a MAPS coach. Being accountable to my goals has absolutely changed my life. And I know it can change yours too. Commit to being accountable.
Okie dokie. Hey, so I handed out a paper and it has boxes on it. So the people in the box, having someone to hold you accountable compels you to adopt an accountable attitude. Keller Williams is deeply committed to accountability on all levels. Whether you're a new agent or you have years of experience, we should all have someone holding us accountable to our financial, spiritual, physical, and our business in our life. So, if you have someone, you can tell them, just say, hey, Wes, I want you to hold me accountable on, our business. And so you can just talk to somebody, and I threw Wes under the bus there, sorry.
You just found that out today.
I did. I was focusing on the class. I get nervous to teach, so, I was focusing. So, but anyway, on that, do a quick and just write, do you guys all have that paper? Okay, so write on there, who's going to keep you accountable to your financial, to your spiritual, to your physical, and to your business. And think of somebody that can help you really achieve your goal. And then ask them, hey, is that okay if I have you hold me accountable, and let's meet up every Friday at 5 o'clock for just a quick, how was your week? And then, okay, what am I going to do better? We can do 5 minutes, call it a win. So that's a great example for that. Let's see. About that. And then, so write down what your goal is. What did you do to, how did you do that to get to that?
This is the kind of the format we'll follow in our accountability group too.
Okay. Awesome. Love that.
Which is this Friday.
So this Friday, right after AI, so if you're looking for accountability buddy, we're We're gonna talk through 411 and how you're gonna track your goals. So each week, it does not need to be a big, long check-in with your accountability buddy. By like your accountability buddy isn't like your confidant, let's sit and whine about it for hours, right? Mikhail and I were talking about this. It is someone who you like do a quick check-in with, and you're saying like, what was your goal? How did you do this week? How do you feel about it? Based on how you did, what is your goal and what do you need to do now? And then it goes from there. Is there anything that might keep you from doing that? And if you need training or support to do this, what would it be? And that's really what that's going to look like from an accountability standpoint that you're going to do with each other.
Yeah. Yep. And I liked, what do you need to do to remove or to add to that each week as well? So, yeah. So number of appointments equal number of listings equal the closings, for buyers and, listings, and then to your profit. So let's hold each other accountable and yeah. Cool. Any ahas?
Can you go back to that last slide?
I would love to.
When going through this, by the way, you really start with 4 and work it backwards. This is a lot of what we did in the business planning clinic too. But you really start with your profit goal in mind. And then from there, you're going to break that down to say, to hit that profit goal, how many closings do I actually need to have? To have those amount of closings, what is my percentage rate of contract to close? How many, that's going to tell you how many agreements you need signed. And then using your conversion rate for appointments, that's going to tell you how many appointments you need to go on. You could even take this one step further to how many conversations you need to have. So then you know from conversation all the way to your profitability what your goals are.
Yeah. And the other thing is, guys, I always say you can't eat the elephant first, but if you know how many bites it's going to take, wouldn't this be easier to do if you knew that, hey, I only had to contact 4 people a day to be able to hit my goal, to be able to have my showing, and I need to ask the questions to be able to get my closings, to be able to have that. So that's the way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time.
I also think that the more you can track whatever you're doing, whether it's for your business or physical, spiritual, any of these categories, the more you can identify habits or what you're being honest with yourself and really track that, it's going to be easier for your accountability partner to help you, because they can say, well, maybe it's not a conversation problem, it's, you know, a presentation problem or whatever that is. I think just being able to track some of these things is going to be easier for someone else to help you when you do have that accountability check-in.
I think that's a really good point, Mikhail. And honestly, if you're not tracking how many appointments you're having, if you're not tracking the amount of conversations you're having, you have no idea. It makes it much harder because you really can't identify where the hang up is, right? If you know that you're having 100 conversations and it's not leading to any appointments, then you have a conversation problem. If you're going on a lot of appointments and you're converting only at like 20 or 30%, you have an appointment, like you have a problem with the information that you're having in the appointments. Yeah, sorry, can we just keep the focus up here? It's a little distracting, the side conversations. So it just really helps you stay on track. And if you're not tracking it, you don't know how to get your results. But if you know that you talk to this many people every day, that leads to this many appointments. Now you know if you need 10 appointments and it takes you 30 people to get one appointment, you have to have 300 conversations. Now you know and you can track it, right? It's like, okay, well now I know and now I can track it. And now every time that I do one, I'm one step closer to my goal. And then from appointments to closing, same thing. If you know almost all of your contracts close, and by the way, if 100% of your contracts are closing, you probably just aren't doing a big enough volume that you haven't figured out your fallout rate yet. Because appointments, contracts will fall through. You will have a buyer that decides it's not the right time to buy. You will have a seller that decides it's not the right time to sell, or that they can't sell it for what they think they need to sell it for. So in that time frame, if you're not tracking that, you're not figuring out a fallout rate, you're not going to be able to hit your goals. So if you're interested in the accountability group, it's going to start Friday. It's at 12:15. We're going to go over some easy accountability measures. If you're committed to it, we're going to assign you to an accountability buddy. And I'm just going to ask you to really lean into that, because
if I'm Mikkel's partner and I never show up to our appointment, it's not fair to Mikkel and it's not fair. Well, it's crappy for me, but it's definitely not fair to your partner. So if you want someone to be in the trenches with you and to help you look at things a different way, then come on Friday and we'll help you. And I'm telling you what, this is one of the biggest things that define good from great is the people that track and are accountable to your goals. It's gonna define you and it's gonna change you, right? Like that's one of the things Mikkel and I have talked about is it was honestly Mikkel's kind of brainchild of like, let's restart this group. So anyway, thank you, Steph.
Yeah, thank you. And then. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. There is food in the lobby for you guys to eat lunch. And thank you to Stephanie and Vinci for your awards today.
Thank you for coming.
And then don't forget, next week is the quarterly market update. Okay.
Sweet. I like myself out of that. That was actually pretty easy.
Have already.
Yeah, we're full of two.
I know, I think we really are.
I love that. That makes me happy.
Like that for that Friday,
Yeah, we're good. I'm excited for it too.
thanks for putting that together.
And then you keep like this out here and then we can put another like here. Or you know.
Or do we want, I don't know where we want our.
We're going to be at it. I don't know. That's the problem.
Top of your head, what form or where would
And
don't want.
No, I just want to. Not if it was. I didn't bring the thing. Okay, that's great. Okay, no, done. I just wanted to try. Thank you so much for writing.
Yeah, so.
It's like something. Wow.
No, public website. The only reason Zillow does it is because Zillow agents.
I'm a huge.
Nobody's website. I would rather have.
I thought you just said that we have to disclose.
We have to disclose it on the MLS. Yeah. Is what our agreement says.
Okay.
So.
There are problems.
I don't know. So I guess I don't know how to describe, I guess that would maybe, yeah. On public website, I shouldn't be, you know, just because I'm. So I would like to see that. I'm curious how like. Because our feeds from the MLS come to live, they do not.
I think.
They all.
Yeah. I think I 100%.
Hold on and let me see, because I don't know. Yes.
I appreciate that.
Is because like they'll email you and say, you close the property, report the is actually against our agreement. Our agreement said we disclose rights and after closing for competitive. For other professions.
And then.
So.
True, because then.
I mean, it's probably can't, but does that look like- if they know that agent.
That's why I want to get together. I love how.
Or is that not what the agent?
I mean, I guess initially, right? Because we're going against where we said we were gonna disclose it. If I live in Yukon, I'm not in Northern state. And I think my listing agreement, or buyer's agreement, my whole data will be disclosed on MLS. And website. It's so.
I'm okay with it.
It's so funny you said that, like about 15 years ago, I was part of this mastermind. I think we were all like, that's a good, that's a hard, just kind of, I want you to go out now, 25 people.
this week, and we're one of like very few, I probably still have the paper somewhere. Where I did.
That good.
Your biggest public. And I was like, that. But a lot of them, not everyone was really accurate. There was just meetings and combination, so we created data and we all got together. And it was seriously, I love that. No, I love that. No, I love that. It's not a real number. Yeah. So page. Gosh. My class is exactly the same. Like from a standpoint, like you're on. No, exactly. I got on my iPad there. But no, I like that because you say, well, I understand. Even the people who like you buy it, but then to me, the more like sitting county together and being really, you don't have to go deep on it. You can everybody walk and it might not even be the same view. You know. And I love that. So I feel the thing is something we fight for every year. So I would like I'm curious to see a website or like any website or even any website, but the one who they're rolling in as an agent and adding in the data. Maybe do it smaller, just bring topic, bring that.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm curious that I
have the.
and then we can then do it.
Here's
How do you have like a here, give a lot like a break for. We're gonna go over the ones that are showing up on. Next time we're gonna talk about this. You know what I mean? And if you can get else in it, like I'd be curious if you have it falling right. Yeah.
This is more.
You can actually have it, you know, like around. I'm worried about sending out or I was actually thinking, should they? Oh, what if something my question? I thought you might have it. No, I love those.
I mean.
You know, and I pay a limit. I'm not gonna make sure. You know, when you're because this happened, this, you don't know. So
When you're and you're the listing agent, you only need a earnest confirmation.
very upset.
From the buyer.
You know, me help you, how can I?
And when we're on the other,
It has a tool. So.
your thing is different. So let's say,
My word, my favorite.
we're gonna get that, and that's what
Okay, so
it's asking you.
I'm like, everyone.
All the different, when you are the buyer, you need, when you, did you know that? Yeah. But
It's gonna be great. It's the actual, you know, price or whatever that it was.
was good enough for me.
This is the actual.
Right, that's right. One of the, I think it's great. Like, and look at it. And then there's gonna be no bigger, you know what I mean? You know, so it's just trying to keep it down, I might do that. You know. I don't even like it. Well, it's somebody you said that, because yesterday, I just put a number. And then later on, 2-8 at the same time, and later on, 2-8. I do really, I have it more. I have some of it more. Just put, where.
My account got hacked. My debit card wasn't working and I finally called. I get to get it, it's just my card now.
Yeah, I love that.
And then,
I love
oh,
that.
you guys, we have all these charges. I read them all. No, that's not me. That's not me. No, that was street. So I had to, like, Disney, I had ESPN, I had like all these different subscriptions. Yeah.
These were for the top. This is probably.
I don't know. This would be high on. So. So they're sending me a card for their. Yeah. So you know how you have your card shaped on the phone? I wonder if that's.
And I think that's important, because even like for you.
That makes sense. So this is a screenshot. That's. Made it smaller.
That's why.
But I don't know how to send it to you.
Is this the screenshot?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a copy.
I'm sitting there trying to like, I went looking for a and then I thought I might as well put the video. But if we could drop that in there too, so they can see where that.
He works great.
And then we were trying to print it, and it doesn't go to.
Yes.
But it's probably it's.
I also don't think it's ready for printing.
We might look at that. Oh, okay. We would have. I was thinking about that last slide. I just need one at the top. No, up above. No. There was a line that said. Text here. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we'll explain.
Do you want me to send the mouse so you can find it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's so true. Oh my gosh, our seats. Yeah. No. 53. I'm like, they don't change. They change. Yeah. I'm going to. Okay, see you later. See you. Good night.
Bitsy, give me a few minutes and I'll come back.
Thursday morning.
I'm sorry, where are you going?
You're Hollandale, and I'm going to meet my childhood best friend.
Oh, how fun.
Steve, there's a friend that's coming from Mexico.
Oh, my God. How fun.
Yesterday. The only problem, it's very cold.
I know, I was like.
So I gotta go.
Because is there Saturday, such a Saturday? Oh,
Read this.
I only heard, so I'm so ready.
For how long?
We did Saturday. But I was gonna
I know, I usually ask, like, what should I wear? Because I put ChatGPT, I was all ready. I'm going with pants and jeans. But you've been flying, you haven't been on vacation for like 2 months, 3 months? You're getting white, what's going on? I love it. I want to go spring tanning because I'm not gonna be tan, so I need to look. If I have time today, I need to go spring tan. I went last week and it didn't work.
Yeah, I think they have to find the right when I know about, because when I read that, because I'm terrible, I don't know if I did it down there. I know.
I used to.
Right.
I did it for many years.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I cover my. I had a gal, she does her child years ago, and she was awesome, very private, and you can pick your, but some people just, our skin are different colors, so. Yeah.
I used to go to this girl, Ashley, but she was in the south, she was doing it in the house. And after that, I went to next to the Solani place.
It was and two of them would have been potential.
The one that I did last week told me to start at 10:30. I know. Last Tuesday at 6 o'clock, and I don't know why he told me to shower at 10:30.
Yeah. Oh, you do the early morning, or light closures all day.
I thought it was so stupid that she told me.
Well, yeah, that doesn't make
To be the verbiage, sure, but I listened to her.
Yeah, sometimes that. Oh, also, there is.
I've got two that are coming.
But
But it's a crate and you put it on, it's like, it's not sprayed, you put it on with a mitt. And you put it on and it's a self counter. Hold on.
I know, but I'm supposed to get yellow with that if I don't do it right.
No, so you just want to make sure you put lotion on your knees behind your back, just like the way you go spray tan, your elbows, you know, the spots.
So.
But it's like a mitt and you just rub it in and then you just rub it in, like, you'll know.
Oh, that's good picture if you get them home.
Regular lotion.
Oh, like the Jergens?
Does Jergens have one?
Jergens are really good, even though it's inexpensive brand.
Oh, do they? Well, then there you go.
That fresh.
I can get that out.
Like an ass forever, every time he's.
But your friend, whoever you went to.
Yeah.
When we're gonna be able to see that done.
Oh.
She
wasn't so she was long. She was so here.
I have a hand with him. You got pretty much.
Back to me.
You're
Yeah.
good. Yeah, we go on our, we have these behind even in our phones, like,
Mhm.
I would put like spray tan in my.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with that.
I love that. I love.
Yeah, I did. And he's good. He's pretty cool. Yeah.
You can come over.
Well, I don't know whether he's.
Love it.
My sweater?
I love that. Yeah, I'm looking something. Oh, you're totally good. Yeah, how are you?
Good. Good, thanks for coming in supporting.
So-
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I need, this is the cute little Travis on. I'm glad it's this day.
But you know, you make an impact because when I came in and I didn't hear.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not long. Yeah, you need that.
Well, I told her the other day, I'm like.
No doubt for staff and everything, first maybe.
It's hard when you have people, like I only talk at school and it's hard when you have people.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
I only got it.
We're not messing around, we don't mess around.
Answer.
We can like that.
Somebody, come on.
Yeah, pretty. Thank you. You have the same one.
I want the same color. I do.
Yeah, I know, every time
Did
you
we
wear,
wear them the same day?
I have this, I have actually two
No.
different ones in the same shirt, and then I can dress like that.
The same color.
I'm like, hey, Steph, oh, my kids always tease me, and I.
Yeah.
But if I, my stuff, I'll buy it again.
Okay.
And then I thought, so.
Yeah, because you never hear the same.
Oh, I didn't even know if they had them.
Oh, I.
Oh. Right, they're different, they're like, if you got this favorite one,
I just sent her a message diminishing, it's back, but meanwhile, hold on, like, thank you. No, because you never know when they're going to, you cannot find the answer.
Yep.
Like I